We are welcoming the CEO of Brand South Africa, Mr. Neville Matjie. Welcome to Ubuntu Radio.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting me.
Thank you so much. Brand South Africa is tasked with the responsibility of shaping the country's global image. What are the key messages that you are pushing to investors in this year's event?
Yeah, this year's event is a very important one. It's about partnerships, it's about delivery, it's about diversification and decarbonization. Those are the critical messages that we're driving as part of the investment conference. What is key for us is also showcasing how South Africa has transformed from a structural perspective, how the promises that have been made by government in this administration in terms of energy, in terms of infrastructure, those are translating into real lived experiences. So we're really ensuring that from a brand promise, that brand promise talks to the lived experiences of the investors and the lived experiences of our citizens. Why this is quite important, of course, investors are always looking at the ease of doing business and how easy or how difficult it is for them to do business in a destination. And South Africa has shown that we're committed to ensuring that the lived experience of investors is easier through regulatory transformation. The president this morning announced that from a visa regime perspective, we've also relaxed some of our processes. Number two, in terms of environmental impact assessments, in terms of the water use licenses, those have been transformed that you are able to get those much quicker than it used to be, purely because of this type of dialogue which we're having with the investors.
Mm-hmm. You know that perception often doesn't really match when it comes to South Africa. How are we actively working to shift the negative narratives that are spread out there and build investor confidence?
By telling the truth. You see, we just focus on ensuring that we get the right message out there. Unfortunately, when it is negative, it tends to be over-amplified to a point that it loses the real meaning of truth behind it. We focus on ensuring that we drive the real information about South Africa, we drive the truth about South Africa, and that is what we focus on purely as Brand South Africa. Number two, we do 2 surveys a year. One is a State of the Nation brand report, which focuses on how the brand performs domestically, measuring our citizenry, looking at patriotism, as well as the lived experiences of South Africans based on, of course, the economic reforms. So those 3 critical areas have actually demonstrated that there's a huge uptake and a positive reaction from South Africans, and more South Africans willing to ensure that they play their part in amplifying the good news about South Africa.
How do you then measure the impact of nation branding? Can you really point out to tangible investment outcomes that has been influenced by Brand South Africa?
Yeah, so remember, in branding, it's a collective exercise. So it can't be one investment only associated to the agency, because we work across the departments. For the South African Investment Conference, we work closely with Presidency, with DIRCO, as well as with the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition to support their initiatives in ensuring that from a information and a packaging perspective, that is quite clear and fully aligned with the real deliverables that we've been able to see from that perspective. Number two is also outlining and showcasing the positives in terms of the economic reforms. Number three is the regulatory compliance processes. The biggest stumbling block for any investor is permitting, licenses, and visas. And those are the 3 areas that there's been huge transformation from a government perspective.
Mr. Neville Matjie, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us.
Thank you very much.